I think it would only be appropriate if, in order to test this expensive katana, we find out if it can slice through a rock. Dramatic unsheathing. Shing! Except it makes no sound at all.
It makes no sound at all, no.
It's a wooden scabbard, why would it?
No, that's the thing is like the realistic sound is like clack.
I cut it actually, you just don't see it. It's not falling yet. I should probably make some observations about how it handles. So first off, it's light. It's 1.2 something kilograms. More blade heavy than what I'm used to quite often with longswords. You want a certain amount of blade presence for that mystical cutting power, right? Yeah, do not want to hit the stand because this is borrowed, it's not mine, so there's not going to be abusive testing. I felt a surprising amount of resistance, but it did cut everything, including the dowel inside. That's what was in there. Okay, so one thing I should talk about is the idea that curved blades auto-align. It's an idea that I've seen a number of times expressed, and I really don't see why. Apparently it comes from the observation that if you let a curved blade free fall, it'll self-align and fall with the edge forward. Funnily enough, when I tried it, a broad straight blade self-aligned, while a strongly curved narrow blade did not. It only stayed aligned when I let it drop from a straight position to begin with. It probably has more to do with blade geometry and overall mass distribution than straight versus curved. Either way, this doesn't mean anything because you don't fight with swords by letting them free fall onto your opponent, and this would only matter for vertical cuts anyway. If I feel the blade and just feel what it naturally wants to do, if I relax my grip, what happens eventually is this. Like, it wants to kind of turn that way, which during a cut could lead to scooping it, kind of a scalloped cut, which is not perfect edge alignment. Whereas with a straight blade, if I, like, no matter how much I relax my grip, it doesn't really do anything. It just slowly tilts out of my hand. It doesn't fall to one side or the other. So if anything, this should auto-align, which I can tell you it doesn't. If curved blades auto-align, then it should cut by itself, right? Because it's extremely strongly curved. If I relax my grip, this happens even sooner and more easily. It wants to tip like this. Even if I start out leaning it slightly over to the left, as soon as I relax my grip, it just tips, which I would not consider auto edge alignment by any means. In fact, quite the opposite. You have to sort of fight that, and you have to control it more. And that's why this is all a moot point. Edge alignment comes from controlling the sword with your grip. So however the sword might flop around on its own doesn't really matter. So sparkly. I'm blinding you.
Oh, I hit the cap.
Nice. That was a good cut. Definitely no auto alignment. Cut all the way, just a bit high. The thing is, I've heard both. I've heard supposedly that it auto aligns, so it makes it easier, and at the same time, you gotta be really skilled, which is true, but you can't have it both ways. It can't make it easier and harder at the same time. Like, it's still a sword.
You can tell though, I need to be closer.
Closer?
Because all the water's here. There's nothing here.
Right.
The section you should cut with is here.
Yeah, makes sense. Not with just the tip, as some people say. I don't know why that fell. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Damn, I powered it way too much. Yeah. That was not needed. I gotta be careful with that. I might destroy the planet. It will cut.
It will kill.
It will kill.
It cuts tatami a whole lot better.
It does way better on the tatami than the box.
And that's got the dowel in it, like, yeah.
I don't think I've had that before.
That felt like you put too much strength into it again.
I did.
Yeah.
I want to annihilate my enemies. I missed. Overswung, but pretty good. Bit too much follow through at the end there. That was clean. Oh, I could see and hear how smooth that was. Haha. Let me tell you something, brother. This katana cuts the dome. At first with the bottles, I was like, this is not great. But now with the tatami, it's almost like those two are meant to go together or something. Okay, let me do the direct comparison to see.
All right, so you get on one side and...
Yeah, longsword and katana collided, millions dead. This sword weighs about 300 grams more than that, but it feels lighter.
Feels lighter, yeah. Look at how thick the mune is all the way up.
Yeah.
Most of this is in this section with this giant spread out chunk down here. It doesn't look that way because it's so spread out, but the majority of the weight distribution is here.
I think there's a slight distal
There's a slight distal taper.
It does taper a little bit, but it doesn't taper in profile, whereas this tapers both in thickness and in profile.
Ooh. Very nice. The flat cuts are hard.
Yeah, they are. It's harder to align it parallel to the ground. I mean, it's just anatomy because your wrists don't operate as well this way as it's not as natural.
Yes.
Bit overswung, but clean. Didn't like it
Not
that much.
so good.
I scooped it a little. Oh, it cut it cleanly, but I
Scooped a little bit.
scooped quite a bit. There's no hand shock.
At all.
Yeah, even if the edge alignment is a bit off, it doesn't hurt the wrist or anything. Some swords do. Yeah, that's probably about it.
Oh!
Nice. That looked good.
Yeah.
Yep, that was good. Good stuff. In slow-mo, I can see that you scooped it a little bit at the end. Not much. Yeah, I tried once.
Actually, that's a very clean cut.
Look at that shit. Defending yourself from a scabbard in Europe. I mean, quite often it's stuff like this, you know, just slam it in their face. Or like, I mean, quite often you have it attached to you. So you just draw the pommel in their face. The thing is, with a sword like this, I would rather than trying to cut in one go, I would.
Yeah.
Now the point is already where I need it to thrust.
This is one of the katas. It starts kneeling, which I won't do.
Yeah.
And then you stand up, snap down onto where their sword would be. You draw into them, back this way, down.
Right, that makes sense.
Right? And it's intended to kill two people. Stop their sword, hit them, stab back, come back forward again.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's like a superstition with sumo wrestlers. They eat lots of chicken because they fight like chickens, right? Because they fight on their two legs with their like kind of wings up, right? So
if I eat a pro wrestler, I get really good at body slams and In order to improve your agility, you gotta eat the flesh of Rey Mysterio. Whereas with a sharp sword, sharp? Did I say sharp?
With a sharp sword.
Yeah, with a sharp sword as opposed to the katana. Wow. Whee!
That was terrible, and you should feel terrible.
Yeah.
It's a good cut, though.
That's the weird part. I was messing around. It was a really good cut. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve nice things.
But it was Ki, right? Technically, this was Ki, and you had Kikentai. So, congratulations, you have done a proper Japanese cut.
I just channeled the Ninja Turtles. I don't know what to tell you.